What is up, folks? Welcome back to another live stream repair. We are going to do slightly differently today. We're gonna put some gloves on. We're gonna attempt to work on these with some gloves on. These are some of the thinnest ones I can find. I normally don't like to wear gloves because it ends up just messing us up, and I end up actually hurting my hands, cutting myself, slipping the tools around than they do any good for us. But my fingertips are quite chewed up at the moment, and I kind of want to try to save them. Worked on the car yesterday evening. Was not very fruitful in my endeavors. Every single part that I've been ordering to try to fix this car has just been the wrong thing, or broken from the factory, or one reason or another it just doesn't work. And goodness. Well, anyways, let's get some names up there onto the screen. Let's see what we're dealing with. Do I mind wearing no gloves? My preference is of course no gloves. Just because it's easier for me to feel what I'm doing, and like I was saying, I tend to hurt myself less when I'm not wearing gloves, ironically. But we'll see. This is the first time I've tried working with these, and they feel pretty good so far, so we'll see. If we can find a pair of gloves that make me happy, then well, heck, I'll just wear gloves all the time. Why not? You never know where these things have been. So anyways, who are we doing here? We've got 3865 up first with no power. That's a good sign. I can type. The last pair of gloves I tried, I couldn't even type. So we've got 3865 up first. Let's find them and shoot them a message. Here they are. Okay, and then who's next? Who's next? Oh boy, here we go. We've got Charles with no power. And we've got Michael with no power. And then we've got 3915, no power. 3901, no power. Scott with 2 pods. One with no power, one with death farts. Then we've got Aaron. It was dropped off an entertainment center or something like that, a couple of feet onto the ground, and now it rattles around. New line. We've got 3851 with a brick. 3890 with no power. We've got Adam with 2 HomePods. Both, I believe, no power. We've got Dwayne with no power. We've got John with no power. They already tried fixing it themselves. And we've got Alex with 3 HomePods. 2 of them are bricks, 1 of them is no power. That one I'm not looking forward to that one. So I'm making that one last. Let's go ahead and actually let Charles know that they're coming up next, so they've got plenty of time to join, and then we'll dive in. Let's do Dan first. I don't think we have a Dan today. That's supposed to be 3882. Not sure how I wrote that one down wrong. There they are. Alright, we found them. It only took a bit of running around to figure out who to message, but we figured it out. Anyways, let's finally dig in here. First up, we've got a no power first generation Apple HomePod. The most common, as you heard as we filled out the queue there, the most common issue these things show up for. We've got the most common symptoms too. No lights, no nothing. About 6 or so watts getting pulled from the wall. That all points towards it being the usual dead diode. Let's dig in. You're not gonna last in these gloves till the end of the stream. I think you're right. I think we'll get like maybe 1 or 2 pods into it and rip them off. But so far, I am happy. That's the least that a pair of gloves has ever impeded me getting this in. Oh man, I can pick the screws out no problem. This is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. We're doing alright so far. Can I get this? No, I cannot. But that works. That works. That I can live with. You got 12 more phones? What you gonna do with all them phones? You're kinda crazy. But I mean, depending on the phone, I'd do the same thing, so. Music and surround sound hits different? Dude, you bet. I still vividly remember the very first moment I listened to anything in, like, surround sound. I had taken my dad's Logitech 5.1 computer speaker system and set them up on my bed. And it was the first time I ever heard music coming from like every direction. And it's that like feeling that you get where it's just like you're in like a sphere of sound, you know? I'll never forget that first moment there. It was magical, man. Stefan, I think you might have me beat 40 iPhones. Goodness, let me count how many I have. Nah, I got under 40 for sure. Jason, welcome back. We're doing pretty good here. I mean, all things considered, I'm a little overwhelmed, I'll be honest. I can't believe how many HomePods have showed up. And this is all from yesterday. Every single name up on the screen today is what showed up yesterday. I had another 12 or 15 or so show up today. And then there's a handful that opted for them specifically not to be streamed. There's nothing special with the pods in particular. Man, at least I'd rather get through it now than while we're trying to move in a couple weeks here. Yeah, I think you woke my kid up. You mind turning it down? Okay, my hands are, honestly, they are a little sore. I don't know if that's from the extra resistance of the gloves or... from working on the car yesterday. Well, here we are. We're at the source of most of the HomePod's troubles. The amplifier board, which actually is technically a collection of 8 amplifiers on a single PCB. Pretty cool stuff, but we're going to replace the filters that love to go bad being used or sitting there doing nothing. They'll go bad and they'll cause death farts and stinky subwoofers. So we've had the engine back in the car for a little over a month now, I want to say. But the fuel injector parts that I was sold and shipped were not the correct parts. So it only lasted about a month, and then about a week ago, it hydrolocked itself again. Too much fuel. I took it apart, and it looked like I had pinched the fuel injector O-rings. But upon sharing my pictures of my setup with a few other 300ZX nerds, they're all swearing left and right that I was sold the wrong injector adapters. So I bought a rebuild kit for my original injectors, and I went to go put that in. That worked for a day, and then 2 days ago it hydrolocked again. So currently I am now waiting for I said screw it, I'm just gonna get a whole new set of injectors. They'll be here tomorrow. I'm gonna slap them in the car, and hopefully we can just move on from the whole problem already. Luckily, after I hydrolocked the motor the first time from too much fuel, I haven't gotten so unlucky as the first time where it bent 2 rods. These past 2 more recent times it hydrolocked, I've gotten very lucky and it has not bent any rods. Full compression still even. Pretty incredible. The car just wants me to draw its suffering out for as long as possible. But thankfully I haven't had to pull the engine back out since. Everything that's broken since then has been repairable with the engine still in the car. It's just a hassle, and it really sucks when I've got 30 to 40 people waiting to get their HomePods fixed, and I have to skip a day of streaming and fixing stuff to try to get my car going again, and then I wasted that whole day and all of that time getting nothing done because the parts I was sold were junk, or were the wrong parts. So you know what I did? I colored a couple HomePods last night. I'm so sorry, guys. I had no energy to stream any of it, but no, frankly, every time I stream coloring HomePods, people join for a little bit, and then it's just, I mean, I can't make it as fun, and no one ends up watching, and it's just kind of me standing there in front of a pot of water by myself with a camera. And the kid was trying to pass out too. She did end up getting to go to sleep, and I managed to color up another HomePod while she was asleep, so everything worked out. But I do still feel bad for not streaming it. You just gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. Well, and like another reason why I hadn't colored a couple of these HomePods, I've been pushing them out, some of them out for way too long. It's because I've just been kind of waiting for the right time to be able to stream it, but it's just never been right. and I couldn't keep waiting to do them for when I could stream doing it. I'm gonna buy a house. I swear I am going to buy a house. And it's gonna have room for us to do whatever we want, whenever we want to do it. I gotta buy a house, brother. You think houses are ever gonna get any cheaper? Sure, the interest rates might not be great right now, but who knows what the interest rates are gonna be in a couple more years. Housing prices are probably never gonna go down. But we can always refinance and get a better interest rate if the interest rates get better in the future. And my credit is finally at a point where I can get a house if we want to. I got a wife and kid. I got too many cars and I want more cars. We gotta get a house if we wanna, you know, if we wanna do more. Your visa was you have a 10-year visa? What the heck? A visa for what? Like just visiting? And just like doing whatever you want? Dude. Where'd you get the $5 million bucks? Just a straight up 10-year travel visa. Very nice. Oh, right. You just took out a loan for it. I gotcha. Yeah. No sweat these days, right? 8-bit repair. What is up? Welcome. Welcome. Stefan, I gotta say, I really like the gloves. They might actually last for the whole stream here. That was the easiest time I've ever had sticking those in there, and it was all thanks to the gloves. They love to stick to my fingertips. But the gloves give just enough slip. Charles, what is up? What is up, Charles and Clark family? Glad you folks could join us. Stefan, I expect you to behave. I'm watching you. It's making picking these screws back up real easy too, wow. I like that. Might be getting some more of these gloves. If they survive the whole stream without ripping or tearing, I'll stick with them. How about that? Oh, and it doesn't, my hand doesn't get burned touching the top from it being too hot. This is perfect. This is ideal. Here we go. Knock knock, who's there? Working HomePod.
Trouble connected.
I'm having trouble. I'm having trouble. Aren't we all, buddy? Alright, we've got here a Charles with no power. Who wants to bet it's going to be the exact same as the last one? Let's see. No lights, no power, no nothing here. The usual power draw over there that tells us it's nothing silly like a blown fuse. It is most likely another dead diode on the amplifier. Let's get it apart. We'll replace a couple other things while we're in here. We're actually going to replace the DC filters first. Those love to go bad and cause death farts and stinky subwoofer speakers and all sorts of bass issues. And then we'll replace the dead diode causing no power. We'll wrap it up with a new subwoofer gasket. Since the original is made of foam, we've got nice solid rubber replacements to give it one less reason to go bad in the future. It's always fun to see the inside of things and how they work. A little dusting. A lot of dusting. Some rubbing alcohol to work out the glue holding the speaker basket in place. That's this guy right here. As if the screws holding it down weren't enough, they had to glue it down as well. English is weird, yeah, you bet. Yeah, Stefan already used his Visa and went and stole your AirPods case, man. That's crazy. Bye-bye, old foam gasket. No, his diodes showed up and his dog ate them. Remember? Diodes are not okay for your dog, even as a little snack. But at least they should just come right out. And I mean, Stefan, they should be fine. Here we are. Let's get those fart filters first, and then we'll replace that dead diode. We got the old ones gone. A little bit of flux to remove any corrosion on the pads. We don't want any corrosion on there that'll inhibit a proper solder bond there. We'll put some, speaking of which, fresh solder on those pads. Make them nice and pretty again. A little more flux and we're ready for some new filters. Flux also helps move all those parts basically to where they need to go. I just got to give them a little nudge here or there and they'll snap more or less right into place. Flux is the magic sauce that makes soldering look so easy. Let's get that dead diode. And to no one's surprise, we've got the 46K date code on there. That's one of the 2 date codes on these things that we look out for. If it hasn't gone bad yet, it certainly will, and it would have needed to have been replaced anyways. Similar deal, we've got some flux on the diode. We'll put some new solder on it. And then some flux on the board, a little more flux on top of everything. I like to put a little bit of flux on top of my contacts as well, just to make sure that the solder fully flows through everything. The reason why we solder the pads for the capacitors, but we solder the replacement diode, in other words, the reason why we don't solder the pads for the diode on the board is because the pads on the board for the diode tend to suck up quite a lot of heat. A lot of people have problems pulling the diode off with a heat gun, let alone being able to transfer any heat through those pads to tin it with an iron. So it's more effective to tin the replacement part and then flow it onto the board. For the filters, for the capacitors here, we don't want to do the same thing to the filters, to the caps, because our soldering iron is going to quickly heat up part of the component, and it's going to unevenly heat up the rest of the part. It's going to heat up at an uneven rate, and it's that is a problem with things like capacitors that are made of crystals, more or less. They have a crystalline structure, and they can be very sensitive. So you need a heat gun to evenly apply that heat and reflow them onto your board. The diodes care not about using an iron, and they're big enough that they are fine. It can depend too. In some cases, it's perfectly fine to use a soldering iron on a capacitor. In this case in particular, especially due to the consequences of those filters going bad and their role with DC filtering here, we want them to be in as tip-top shape as possible when we go to put this thing together and send it back, because we want them to last for as long as possible. They are all inevitably going to go bad again and need to be replaced. They have a shelf life, believe it or not. The manufacturer of almost every ceramic capacitor out there will give you a data sheet that includes the specification for more or less how how much out of spec it falls each year. And being used or not, they do derate. That said, we shouldn't have seen many of these cases of them going bad so soon. I think many of them it's just Apple not using the right or a quality part. Or maybe they knew that using an undervolted version of the capacitor would work at first but fail after a year or two, conveniently. I don't know. But in any case, we use nice high quality ones that are voltage-wise well overrated for the task at hand, so they should at least last another 10-15 years at minimum. It's hard to say without knowing exactly how they designed the amplifier without having schematics for the amplifier board. But we're gonna put one more brand new part on this. That's our subwoofer gasket. Since the old stuff is made of foam, if you've been around speakers for long enough, you'll know that one of the first things to go bad in a speaker is anything made of foam. So we've got a nice solid rubber replacement to not give that a reason. Making sure it's nice and sealed, we don't hear any chuffing or air leaking in and out. Oh, and one question I'm sure, because we get asked it a lot, is, okay, well, so we know that the filters will inevitably need replaced again in the future. What about the replacement diode? So the reason that the diode fails and causes no power is, like I was talking about that date code on there, indicating what batch it was from. Only a certain date range of these diodes are failing. More or less, there was something funny in the water at Diodes Incorporated during a certain 2 weeks of manufacturing, and excuse me, Apple got a bit unlucky, and throughout the entire production and pre-production of the HomePods, I've had a number of prototypes in here with the same faulty diode. Same date codes. Apple used a date range of diodes, you know, from mid-ish 2017 to early, well, I'd say early 2017 to early 2018 is the range that I've seen of diodes used. About a dozen-ish different batches of diodes. But only 2 of those batches, back-to-back, 1746K and 1748K, are the ones that go bad. And that number means, well, if we look at 1746K, year 2017, week 46. So we're looking at week 46 and week 48 of 2017 that those diodes were not made to spec, not made up to quality, and those are the ones that end up failing under high but still normal loads. Usually when your HomePod is restarting or updating is when it tends to pull the most power through that diode. Not usually while you're playing music. That's why we get a large number of repair requests whenever software updates get pushed out. But the replacement diode, it won't have that problem, of course. Technically, we could pick apart a broken HomePod with some other issue, and so long as the used original diode didn't have one of the same two date codes on it, it would work, and it would almost certainly never fail. But we don't like to do that. We've got a much more cost-effective way of we can just buy these diodes. They're, you can get them off the shelf for 50 cents to $1 a piece. Funny thing is, the higher rated, higher quality version of the same diode is actually cheaper because they tend to make a lot more of them. So in every which way, the particular no power failure that we fix here is not going to happen again. And it's the most common cause for no power, so it's at least 9 out of every 10 pods that show up here like that. But there we go. We got it all back together. You could ship that to Apple and they wouldn't know any better. Well, okay, they'll see that gasket and go, we didn't use that. What color faceplate should you get on your 7th Gen Classic with a black click wheel? That's a tough choice. Forest green. Get a good deep dark green. Oh, you want to see if it works, huh? I suppose we could make sure all is in order here.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. For more info.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose my mind today, folks. Alright, that's probably as much as I'm going to explain what we're working on and how we're working on it here today. The rest of this is going to be... We'll probably ramble about totally unrelated stuff. Let's get the next name up on the screen here. It's going to be Michael. With, yeah, no power. Let's see what it's got here. Poking out the wall is gonna be the usual power draw. No lights, no power otherwise. Gosh golly, it's gonna be another dead diode. Let's go. No, don't do all black. Green, green, green. Stefan's got a point. How do you know? How do you know that you're not a Barbie girl in a Barbie world? And you're just seeing everything through a different lens. But at the end of the day, all we see, all the rest of us see, when we look at you, is that little Barbie girl in her little Barbie world. How are we doing on time? We got through 2 of them in 50 minutes. Yuck. We gotta speed it up. Where's Nixon to tell us to hurry? We might be living in a black hole. I'm sorry. I didn't hear about that one yet. Yeah, but like, that doesn't make sense. It's so big in here. Like, we have an observable universe. Are you saying the whole observable universe is inside of a black hole? Like, an active, functioning black hole? I have to look this up. So we do live in a simulation, huh? Uh-huh. But what about the black holes that we see? Are you saying there are black holes inside of black holes? That don't make no sense. A defective black hole. Can we, what's the return policy on the black hole? Can we, like, take it back for a replacement if it's defective? You don't have to be a scientist. You just gotta wonder. You just gotta think, ponder. Turn off TikTok for a minute. I guess I'm the culprit here. Turn off YouTube Live for a minute and ponder. Alright, we are in the next one. Let's get those filters out of here. Ooh, 7-Up. Oh, that's flat. Spicy. Even with the gloves on, that's hot. Hot, hot, hot. Must be perfect. Yes. And there it is, a 48K, the second of 2 date codes that we see failing. Let's get it out of here. Okay, alright. Back together we go. I like the gloves. Stefan, you've lost me. I like the gloves. You just want to see blood get drawn. I know you. You just want to see me bleed. You just gotta look at my heart. Remove his mod. I'll take off the gloves if you take off your mod. I'm gonna wear a mask next time, and then the time after that, I'm gonna wear all of it with the mustache and big goofy nose glasses. And then we'll have a face cam. And that's all you're gonna get. What if I melt them and they stick to my hands? I'll just peel them off. Alright? I mean, I see this as an absolute win. No spooky for Serbia. Sad. Do you at least, like, pretend in school? The teacher breaks out the haha funny Halloween homework for the day? Or is it just nothing, absolutely no acknowledgement whatsoever that it exists? You guys celebrate Maria Carey? Strange. Sorry, I had to. I'm just feeling extra dad today, you know? Stefan. Play Chris. No. 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 My least favorite genre of music, right next to country. No offense to anybody that enjoys their country. I just can't. I can't do it. You know, I get it though. Some people can't do the beeps and the boops. Some people can't do the hips and the hops.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Very nice. It's now 3915's turn. Oh geez, another no power? Who's surprised? Let's see what we've got here. No lights, no power. Couple of watts from the wall. Yep, it's another dead diode. Stop resisting! Oh, wow. What is up with this one? It's like extra. No, there's nothing different about this. Huh. this one's just like extra stuck together. You know, and the fact that I can get this ribbon cable removed with the gloves on, that kind of cements it right there. No, I still have trauma from the last share play. I don't trust no one no more. Tell you what, I'll let you share play to the mini in my bathroom, and you can play whatever you want and turn the volume up as much as you want. You probably won't be able to hear it from here. I mean, you might. Tell you what, if, okay, how about this? If my wife gets home and she lets me fix more after she gets home, then I'll share play. You wanna? Okay, give me a second. Let me put the filters on at least. Gosh, I'm already behind, and I will. I'll make you happy. Alright. Bathroom. Let me get it going. Let me make sure this is gonna work as well as I want it to. Yeah, I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear that. That's funny. Alright, I'll put the share play. I'll put the share play in the Discord, and then yeah, you're not gonna hear that. I'll move the mini into, let's see here. I don't have any outlets. Ah, this guy sucks. Okay. There is a mini right outside my room now. I see the share play. Hold on. It's not working now. I am waiting for the HomePod to show up. You know, we could have finished this HomePod by now, but you guys wanted SharePlay. This is so broken. Okay. Nobody has joined the SharePlay. I don't want it in that one. I want it here. Why is it playing to multiple HomePods? Ah. There. I fixed it. I don't see anybody joining the SharePlay still. Alright, see, this is another reason why I hate SharePlay, because it's a hassle and we're burning time here trying to get this working. I have so many things that we need to get fixed and so little time to get it fixed. And this shit isn't working. I'm going to take a screenshot of it. It's going to be the exact same one as before. No, it's different this time. Alright, I posted it again. See if that one lets you join. I see Stefan. hands you the keys to a 1997 Toyota Corolla that's burning a quart of oil every 100 miles. Here you go, kid. Have fun. Turn it up to your heart's desire. Hey, you guys, you can share that in the YouTube chat if we want like anyone else to join. You can turn that up as loud as you want, and it's not gonna faze me. It's just a little guy. Come on, turn it up. Okay, actually, I don't like that. Stefan, ew. This is bad for the kids. This is awful. Shuffle hands, save us from Stefan's awful, it's literally so bad I can't focus. Oh, please let it be over. All right, yeah. Yeah. Stefan, you know you can grab like SoundHound or Shazam, and it'll like let you like hum the song into it and figure out what the song is. Back in my day, you couldn't even Google the lyrics of a song to figure out what it was. You had to get lucky and catch that it was if the DJ playing it on the radio station was was telling you what the name of the song was. Now I'm nervous. This sounds like the weird kid stuff that my kid finds on YouTube. I mean, probably not the same lyrics. Who knows what they're saying? I mean, Stefan knows what they're saying. I don't know what they're saying. Probably something inappropriate. Nuh-uh. I will moderate. I will remove that. I will. Not allow it. What happened to the... Who did what? Did it break? I don't hear anything now. It says it's playing. It looks like it's playing. I don't want to dig with this again. Hey, at least we got another HomePod working. We might not be able to share play for what SharePlay worth a hoot, but it all looks like it's just working fine on my end. Is it? I just don't hear nothing. I'm not messing with it again. I have wasted enough time with it, and I waste not more time with it.
I'm having trouble connecting.
It doesn't help that I'm on the beta. And I'm still on beta 1. I haven't updated to 2 or 3. Or what are they on 4 now? They have 4 yet? No lights, no power. A couple of watts from the wall. I guess I'm just gonna let it sit there and we'll see if it fixes itself. Why I'm on a beta? I wanted to play with, you know what I want. You know what I wanted to play with. You know what I wanted to see. Oh, on my main phone? Because, my phone I'm not so worried about because I'm always carrying multiple phones with me. I've got a Pixel 7 Pro, an iPhone 12 Pro Max, and a 13 Pro Max as well. At least. And I've got my iPad. Also, I do need to run the beta to test stuff for my work. But, yes, I do task all of that with my main phone. Shun me. Shun me. It says it's playing. The seconds are ticking along. The HomePod has the light on it saying that it's playing. The volume's turned up all the way. But it has decided that we are not worthy of further listening. You think it's my Wi-Fi? I don't know about that. Okay, it's not playing anything now. Oh, but it doesn't look like you guys are connected anymore. Yeah, it ran, I guess when it runs out of the queue and there's nothing more added, it just kicks you off. Update available. What do you mean update available? Did they just release a new version of the HomePod OS? We got to play one good song. Yep. we should just the solution to all of this. Oh, but see, you don't have a Discord shuffle hands. I was gonna say the solution to this is a music bot in the Discord server. And then we can have our volumes however we want. Fix. Give me a minute. Let me try to catch up here. Like I said, we've wasted enough time on it as it is. Let me get to a point where I can multitask. I've literally never had Spotify. I have never touched Spotify. Well, okay, I did for a little bit when I DJ'd, but not any time recent. Oh, and of course I have to be actively playing music to start the share play. Goodness. Yeah, I mean, I had like a dinky little Amazon Newark USB turntable, and I didn't use the auto mix on Virtual DJ. I had a little fun with it, but I didn't do anything serious like paid events or anything. It was always for friends and family, but I had fun with it, and I got really close to like going all into it. It was really tempting. It's still really tempting. But there's just, I don't know. And I've got obviously no time now to do it. And I can't, I didn't do any like scratching. I can't scratch. But my favorite part was looping, like queuing up a loop of the next song and making it match into the current song. You know, mixing stuff together. Making something that people enjoy listening to. That's like recognizable but also kinda different. A little different. And I love to mix it in some wacky stuff, obviously. You know my taste in music. I would take literally weeks to pick out my songs and put them in a specific order and practice specifically which parts I was cutting up and looping in my transitions. I have no idea what normally entails a DJ's practice in preparation for a set. I guess it varies from person to person. Like, I would really obsess over, like, which specific tracks I would mix together. And then I'd get people coming up and asking me to play certain songs. Ooh. Let me do my mix first. I actually picked out my own tracks for my wedding. I wasn't gonna have someone play music I didn't want to listen to. I told the DJ, I was like, I don't know if you're like me, but I don't like to listen to stuff that I don't, I didn't pick, essentially. Here's a list of stuff that you're gonna play at my wedding. Stream it on weekends. Gosh, I still have that. Yeah, I'm looking at it. My dinky little Newark turntable. But it served me well. I would take my, I would bring my home theater system with me wherever I went. Because the subs were just that good. It still is that good. I keep forgetting how good that big acoustic subwoofer I have is. I mean, don't get me wrong, the bass out of the SingCell Alphas is something else, but the sheer rumble and like breathtaking chest pounding that the big acoustic gives me, it's too much. It's literally too much. My wife says you have to shut that off. I don't blame her. I don't want the neighbors telling me. The SingCells have an amazing way of producing so much bass without it, like, being too loud. As funny as that sounds, what do you mean, too much bass? There's no such thing as too much bass. Oh, buddy. The reason why you can't hear a lot of DJs subs is it's usually if they're playing in a larger venue. There's just so much open, empty space. The smaller space, the more bass. Unless you're going like absolutely hardcore all out. I've been to venues that are large and they've got bass that pumps your chest, but it takes so much to get that. And then you step away and it's gone. Oh yeah, YouTube Music lets you upload all your own music. That I do love. They felt obligated to give us that after they took down Google Music, whatever it was called, right? I had my whole personal library uploaded to my Google Music, and it was really nice because it would sync to all of your devices, and you could download it all to any of your devices. and then they took it from us. Google Play Music. Yeah, buddy. Yep, that's how it goes. Stefan steps away. You can hear the crickets. Oh, he's back. Dang. So quick. Alright. It is now time for Scott's pods. He has kindly labeled them for us. Well, I thought. I thought he did. Did he label them wrong? He did. He did. He thought he was gonna throw us in for a loop there. I want the one with death farts first.
I'm having trouble connecting to them. I'm having trouble connecting.
Ooh, that one's got quite the pop to it. So, we have got here Scott with no power. After that, another one of Scott's. All right. No, we're gonna leave SharePlay alone. We're gonna leave SharePlay alone for a bit. We're gonna fix a couple of pods here. I don't feel like messing with it. It's bugging me, and I don't want to get bugged out. It entails giving Stefan control over my Wi-Fi speaker and letting him play whatever he wants, which is usually incredibly inappropriate music that makes me frankly uncomfortable to sit here and listen to with a bunch of people watching. And I'm sure more than half the people don't want to listen to in the background while they're watching this stuff get fixed. I really, really do not want to right now. Especially not with how much we gotta get fixed and how many potential eyes we're gonna have here watching the rest of the videos, or the rest of the stream at least. Right? I mean, we kicked it immediately. The SharePlay immediately started with someone talking about peeing on someone else. And I mean, if it's not the songs that I don't want to listen to, it's the volume. I didn't even get to remove that. It broke before I could remove it. No, really, I mean, I shouldn't care, but like the analytics of my live streams whenever we start doing that, it's not conducive to anything positive for the channel, I'll say that. Maybe I'm just getting old. I'll put it this way. Louis Rossman wouldn't be doing that. He wouldn't be blasting that kind of music on his speakers, would he? Do we still have a good subwoofer? It sure smells like we do. Anyways, yeah, Stefan did give you the correct answer there. Usually, as you if you go back and rewatch the start of our stream, I do believe every pod up to this one that we've worked on today has been no power due to that faulty diode on the amplifier board. The second most common issue is going to be this one here. It also is on the amplifier board. It's going to be the filters that love to go bad, be it naturally due to age or Apple maybe having used a lower quality or lower spec part than they should have. But in any case, they go bad. If they go bad for too long, if you ignore it, then it will overheat your subwoofer speaker and cook various parts of your amplifier that were basically not built to see the extra DC voltage that's now being amplified, right? Because now the filters are dead, so they're just letting more and more DC voltage through. If we take a look, that's what we're going to replace first here. These 4 capacitors. All ceramic capacitors go bad over time. These ones, unfortunately, they'll have this consequence of, as most people call it, death farts. The amplifier has a way of detecting when these filters have gotten so bad by measuring more or less how much DC voltage is getting to it before it gets amplified. It can't not amplify what it's giving. It's garbage in, garbage out. But death farts are essentially the amplifier screaming for help, saying, I need repair. Please stop using me. Or technically speaking, the DC offset is out of spec. I'm getting the amplifier saying I'm being fed too much DC voltage. I have to restart now. Goodbye. There we go, 4 nice shiny new ones. Let's see if it has the same date code as all the other diodes that fail. Nope, we've got a 42K dated diode. That's a little older than what fails on these, so there's absolutely no reason to replace it. Let's get it back together. RAM disk bypass the passcode so you can keep the iOS version. You know what, it's probably old enough to buy one of those, like, auto pin code cracker things, right? But then what? You can go into the settings and find and contact the original owner and have them remove it. Presumably it's going to be logged in with their iCloud account. So you'll want them to remove that. Marvin, what is up? Welcome. And Nixon, welcome, welcome. JBL Control 1s or something. I mean, yeah, let's Google these really quick. I don't know what those look like. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of funny you mention Steam being down. I think I saw a notification from my Steam app earlier. It's working for me as far as I can tell. Oh, FMI is off. You just don't want to restore it so it stays on the same one. Oh, and you can't, right, you can't just sign out without their password. Shoot. But I mean, you can still have the original owner if it's linked to their iCloud. Oh, but can you send the factory reset from, is that from the iCloud dashboard, or is that from frickin' Find My? I can't remember. Yes, welcome, Luke. Welcome to a long journey ahead of us towards 500 HomePods. I will own 500 HomePods at the same time, and I will turn them all on at the same time. And we will all find out together how many HomePods can you play to at the same time. What happens? Still a long ways away, but and I mean, oh gosh, a long ways away. I don't have very many HomePods I can call my own at the moment. Oh, it'll be so fun to like kick a few of them off and they start just talking to each other and then just blathering absolute nonsense responses to each other over and over, and it'll like slowly spread through the whole cluster like an infection. It'll be like one, and then one will say something and it'll set off like the 5 around it. And then those 5 will say something that set off the 20 around them. And it'll just kick off a chain reaction of chaos. And a dumb speakerness. Alright.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. For more info, check the home app. I'm having trouble.
Do you know how easy it is to make more power? I hope you realize you're going to be limited by power, you silly goose. That is the least of my concerns. I'm going to be far more limited by the space than the power I can generate. I mean, in this household, yeah, not a chance. Sorry, I'm enjoying a quick Sammy. Don't get excited, Stefan. The gloves are going back on. Oh, also, usually the HomePods are smart enough to not trigger each other next to each other. But very often, when I've got 10 or so of them on my test bench, if I accidentally trigger one of them, and it happens to say the magic words, it will make a few other of them go off. And it will start a chain reaction, and they start talking to each other for about a minute or so. Here we go. Look at that, Stefan. I take the gloves off, the live view count plummets. I put the gloves back on, goes right. Oh. Let me go get another one. You thought I would let that stop me? Yeah, there we go. That's more like it. See, I'm used to it now. I can't not. What do we got on the... Oh, I did not put down the right issue for that last pod. That last pod was not no power. That last pod was a classic case of the death farts. The stinky filters. This time around, we've got Scott's second pod. And then up next is going to be Aaron. Aaron's HomePod was dropped from 5+ feet. Ooh, this will be an interesting one. Let's shoot Aaron a message and let him know they're coming up next here. Or the next HomePod. Let me see. Okay. What do we got here? No lights, no power. Couple of watts from the wall. Let's get them. Batter, what is up? Welcome back. Why have I got so many HomePods? Is there such a thing as a HomePod specialist? Well, yes, I do. I believe you're looking at them. But I don't have a whole bunch of myself. For myself, I only have 1, 2, well, okay, only 3 in this room now. I did recover a bit of pod or 2 in this room. So we've got 3 pods in this room. We've got 3 pods in the living room. We've got a couple of minis here and there. This one's just really stuck down. Alright. So just another day, shuffle hands. Ooh, quite dusty. Mm-hmm. Yeah, SharePlay was really trying to make me crash out there. I wasn't gonna have it. And then it just broke itself. Six Silverstones, welcome back. I'll sue ya. I'll take all your money. I'll sue ya if you even look at me funny. Stefan, that's a great question. That's a great question. for one, he teaches you manners. Gotta make sure everyone's using their manners. Manners are what make the world go around, right? We are at our filters. We're gonna knock those out first, and then we'll flip it around and replace that diode. I need to try jellyfin again. I like tried that in years. Old man. What was it? I think it was maybe like Apple TV that was like, well, the lack of Apple TV support at the time or something. But my Apple TV. There it is, a dead 48K dated diode. Let's get him out of here. And you're done. The wife did not text me. What made you think that? You guys want the cameras? Ooh, pretty. You know what I can do too? I don't think we need the backyard, huh? You guys want to get real fancy? Check out these cool moves. 1 second. We'll put this one here. We'll put this one here. Yeah, now we're cooking. We toys can see everything. I have almost every single public traffic camera in the city of Bellevue going into my personal video server. Mostly just in case I get in an accident and I don't have to submit a request to have them give me an export. But it's also really cool to just see traffic whenever I feel like it. Like, they've got a website for it all, but it's also really cool to just have it all recorded, and like if something interesting happens, I've got it. I usually have the ones the more interesting ones up. I'm not even the only one that does this, too. There's a whole YouTube channel called, I think it's something like Seattle Traffic Cams or something. And they record everything interesting that happens on all of the Seattle public cameras. And they catch, they get viewers that do the same thing with the Bellevue cameras, submitting footage all the time, too. I caught someone doing a donut on the 148th Eastgate camera a couple weekends ago. Oh, and yes, that is a 300ZX. That is a right-hand drive, straight from Japan, twin turbo, 1989 Z32 300ZX. It's on its 9th life right now. After the shop royally screwed up the timing belt service, they rebuilt it. I replaced the fuel injectors. The parts that I was sold were the wrong parts, and it hydrolocked the engine, bent 2 rods. I pulled the engine and rebuilt it myself. The replacement fuel injector parts, again, hydrolocked the motor. I've hydrolocked the thing 2 more times trying to get the right parts for the darn thing. Thankfully, I haven't bent any rods the last 2 times. But the 300ZX nerds are swearing that I'm not doing it wrong, and it's the wrong adapter kit. So I got new injectors and everything to just say, screw it, I'm just going to drop all this in here and finally move on and enjoy my car again. This car has seriously been a wild ride of a headache. I've spent more time working on it than I have actually been able to drive it at this point. We did drive it from Seattle to, well, we were trying to make it to Tennessee, but with no air conditioning and a 1-year-old in the middle of summer, we didn't get very far. We made it to like Nevada or Arizona or somewhere. Decided to turn around, mostly because, I mean, it's not like surprisingly, the kid wasn't getting too hot back there. We had a couple of fans on him, but she just kept wanting to do stuff, get out and run around. She wasn't quite ready for a long length road trip. And we weren't ready to really tolerate it without air conditioning. But I fixed my air conditioning. I've gosh darn fixed everything wrong with that car at this point, short of the fuel injection. That's gonna get fixed tomorrow, and I'll finally have my car back until something else breaks. In the garage is a 1986 Nissan 300ZX that started the whole car obsession. I got it 11 or 12 years ago now. Converted it to turbo, put bigger injectors on it. Modded the ECU so I could learn how to real-time tune it myself. Put a bunch of cool parts on it. And then, bam! January of last year, someone runs a red light and absolutely T-bones me going 40 plus miles an hour. Totals the car. Of course, I immediately replaced it with, 2 more Z's. I have another 1986 Nissan 300ZX. It's essentially the same one. I moved all the parts onto it. I kept my original Z, of course, and have been slowly picking the parts off of it, moving it over to my other 86 300ZX. So I technically have 2.5 Z's. I've got my 1989 and my 1986, and then my smushed 1986. And it happened on that camera too. The accident. There's no accident about it. That lady had ran the red light. You can see it on camera. Her light turned red when she was literally half a mile down the road. She was looking at her phone the entire time and just blasts right through me without touching the brakes once. Absolutely awful. I already have trust issues letting anyone else drive me around or transport me anywhere, and from that day on, I have never, and I will probably never again let anyone drive me anywhere, ever. Maybe my wife. Maybe.
I'm having trouble connecting.
Man, get off your phones while you're driving, folks. An FDRX7. Oh no. No. Oh, that sucks. Okay, here we go. This one's gonna be Aaron. They say it was dropped. Uh-oh. We'll give it a second here and see if it actually just needs a little time. Ooh. Yeah. No, that does sound rattly. That does have quite the rattle to it. So, they told us straight up that this was dropped. So we know pretty well what happened. And what we're probably going to need to do to fix it. Let me see. Do I have my... Oh, I do. Ooh, someone's been in here. I'll have to double check. I wonder if this was one that we've previously worked on, and they're sending it back because it got dropped. Oh yeah, let's let number 3851. We'll let them know that they're coming up soon here. Uh, 3851. Okay. Is a HomePod really useful? Well, it does depend on, you know, what you deem as useful. For me, HomePods are really useful because the occasional smart home command that I need out of it, and the almost 24/7 whole home audio going. Like you know, that for me, it serves its purposes that I need, and it is incredibly useful. But a lot of people have their gripes and complaints about how dumb Siri is, and understandable. You know, there are other voice assistants out there that can do more. But I see it less as a smart assistant and more as a really good sounding speaker that can do some smart home stuff on the side. But and also what it can do, it does pretty well. And when it works really well. That's kind of the caveat is when it works. There's a lot of figuring out what Siri can and can't do, you know? Something that you think you'd take for granted that Siri should do. It's like, I found some web results. It's like, really? But on the flip side, did you notice that you can just have it talk to you in another language now. Like, that's so cool. I can ask it what something sounds like in another language. And I don't have to dig my phone out for it. Well, golly, there's the problem. The subwoofer got bent in. So when it gets dropped, the weight of the subwoofer causes it to kind of start to bend around where it's screwed into place here. This is kind of weird. I wonder, we must have... Who is this? This one's Aaron. Aaron 3894. This feels a lot like my work. Oh, here we are. Yes, we did previously fix this fellow's HomePod. And it was the same HomePod that we fixed. We got it back in September of 2023 for no power. We only replaced the diode. Gosh, we fixed this so long ago that we didn't even know back then that those filters go bad as often as they do and cause death farts. So, you know, we may as well just take this all the way. And give it some new filters while we're here. But first of course, the reason it was sent into us, that subwoofer's all bent up. It's not gonna seal anymore. So, ooh. I don't know how well that shows up on camera. But it is definitely got a sort of droopy shape to it right here on the frame. So here's how we fix that. Just a little bit of precision percussion will do the trick. This one's rough. This might be, set it on the floor and smack it straight. It's getting there. Alright. It's very close. But it's got to be perfect, or it will not seal. Okay, that looks great, but if it doesn't seal with our brand new solid rubber subwoofer gaskets to replace the old foam stuff that loves to fall apart, if it can't seal with this, it ain't gonna pass. our replacement gasket does give a tighter seal, but that does mean everything needs to be straight. It is less tolerant to the subwoofer being bent. But at the same time, it is more durable than the old foam stuff, so if it does get dropped again, it should handle it better. That's enough just to see if it's sealed now. Yes, it is. So we smacked that straight. We saved the subwoofer. Let's get it all the way apart though and do a little bit of extra maintenance here. Do I want to give... I do want to give that one more smack. I can still see it's crooked even though it's sealing up. Okay. We will, of course, reconfirm on its way back together. Of course, it also won't pass any testing once we get it all back together before we ship it back to them, if that's not sealing. I got locked in there for a minute, sorry. Oh, that is you. I just saw that. That's you. Hey, that's Aaron. I'm so sorry, Aaron. I just saw that was you. Great to have you, man. Great to have you back. I mean, maybe not under these circumstances, but... let's see what our work looks like now. Almost 2 years later. Lost in the sauce is right, yep. Wow. Looks great. It looks perfect. I mean, it looks exactly like the way we left it. It's not corroding. It's not covered in dust or nothing. And it's if we needed to, it's ready for us to just pop off and replace, but no reason to. We are here for these guys. Am I going to open source? Yes, I am. I am. If we can make the drive there in one piece, that is. tell you guys a story. I am drawing blanks on stories at the moment. I think I said before, the best story times tend to come more naturally than the ones that you just kind of squeeze out of nowhere, eh? Like this one time. No, I'm just kidding. We are taking the broken Z. It will hopefully not be broken. I have put so much work into that car specifically so that we can drive it to open source. And yeah, we're cutting it close. All right, back together we go. Nah, we won't die. It won't be the first time we've driven a car that's gone farther than it should have. But I have much more faith in my Z than I do that 2001 Saab 9.5 SE wagon that we drove to Anime Expo years ago. Oh goodness. And I mean, we had already driven that same 2001 Saab 9.5 SE with the 3.0 V6 to Anime Expo the year before. So we figured it wouldn't have a problem doing the 17-hour drive there again, right? We make it halfway through Oregon, and one of its coil packs die in the middle of the mountains. Believe it or not, right next to an airport with a rental car agency. So we limped the car to the airport, long-term parked it, and rented a car and drove it was like a 2018 Toyota Corolla with all the bells and whistles the rest of the way to Anime Expo. And then on the way back, I knew exactly what was wrong with the Saab. So I had a set of replacement coil packs shipped to a nearby O'Reilly's while we were at Anime Expo, and picked those up while we were there. And the plan was, on our way back home, we'll return the rental car at the same airport in Oregon, and then fix the Saab in the parking lot at the airport, and then drive the Saab the rest of the way home. And it worked. Of course it worked. And of course, we get like a couple miles from home, and the other coil packs start to go bad. Turns out it's an absolutely awfully common thing for those Saabs. And the really crappy thing about it is it's not one. It is one coil pack per cylinder, and you've got 6 cylinders, so you have 6 coils, but they make it It's 3 ignition coils in this molded piece. So if you want to replace 1 ignition coil, you have to replace them in a set of 3, and it's expensive. Very expensive. It was like $450 for the coil packs at the time. But they came with a lifetime replacement warranty. And you know what I did? After I replaced the first set, and then the second set, the other half blew up, I replaced them both with the same lifetime warranty set. And it was like almost like clockwork. Almost every 6 months, the coil packs in that car would go bad. And I would take them back to O'Reilly's, and I'd be like, yep, they're bad again. And they'd replace them for free. So granted, I ended up paying like $800 or $900 up front for a set of brand new coil packs for that car. I did never have to pay that same cost again. I could just go back there and have them replace them. And they kept doing that, and I kept doing that for years. And then I sold the car. I said, I'm done. We never drove the car anymore. My wife got her Audi. I had my Z's and my Impala. I had no reason to drive the Saab around, so we sold it. Cursed Saabs and their cursed coil packs, man. Oh, and one other problem with that Saab, it had an electric throttle body, but it was this. The whole car was just this weird bastard combination of just why. Like, first of all, it was a 3-liter V6 that's turbocharged, but the turbocharger is only fed by 3 of the 6 cylinders for the exhaust gas pressure. So it's this teeny tiny little turbo, and the idea was that it only produces like a couple of pounds of boost, and like, it's the best of both worlds. It's not a big turbo that robs your efficiency, but it's there when you want a little extra power. And then you've got a physical throttle cable that connects the throttle pedal to the throttle body, like any other older car. But then, for whatever reason, they have a sensor attached to the throttle body that reads that throttle cable position, and then an electric motor that actually moves the throttle body plate. So it feels like you have a physical connection to the engine's throttle body and throttle plate, but in reality, you don't. And it's just, you can feel the computer driving the car for you, and the lag, and I hate it. I hate it. Nice. Oh yeah, no, I am still running the promotion where each like on any and every single one of my live streams and videos is $1 that I put into my kids' I don't want to say savings or college fund, because if she ends up not wanting to go to college, then what's she gonna do with it, right? And I don't want it to be like just a savings account that she's not allowed to touch or do anything with. We'll call it the spoil the kid fund. Each like you leave on any of my streams or videos. I've been doing this since the kid was born. I'll put $1 in an account for her. You can make me go broke easy. Ooh, it still makes a funny sound. So you know what that means. I bet you some of the plastic's broken too. Let's take another look here. Quick and easy. We'll be in and out. 5 minutes, Morty, I promise. So quite often, in addition to the subwoofer getting bent up, and the plastic up here obviously getting broken, but usually the plastic up here isn't going to cause anything to rattle. Because nothing up here is actually sealed. And even technically now, everything is still sealed. This has nothing to do with anything getting sealed or not. So our issue is probably going to be where the subwoofer screws into is probably cracked and not letting it seal up anymore. We can grab another set here. That one looks good. Okay, and then one last check on the woofer here, make sure that we didn't miss any spots. Make sure the shell isn't cracked. Nope, that feels good. I think that was it. I think it was the lower ring there. We can check without putting it all the way back together. But we won't. We'll put it all the way together and then we'll see if it works. And if it still doesn't work, then we'll endure the pain of taking it all the way back apart again. Oh, the new Fold 7? I need to look into that guy. It sounds pretty crazy. But I mean, is the folding display more durable than it was before? Or can I still accidentally scratch it with my finger or if I breathe on it too hard? Oh, it's way too late for Stefan. It's way too late for Stefan. I test things. Stefan is far beyond any saving or listening to reasonable advice. Wife's on her way home. Oh man, we're running out of time. Hopefully that works. Oh, perfect. The last one up for today is gonna be a brick. Easy. Easy. That sounds perfect. Alright. We do not.
I'm having trouble connecting.
Oh, see, this one works fine. Let me see. Let me make sure. Let me make sure we're on the same. That's not a good sign. So, I believe, yep, they have it here. It turns on but only blinks volume buttons. And yet, it's working just fine for us here. We've seen this enough times to know what this means. There is a hardware issue that is causing this to intermittently fail and cause it to blink its volume buttons. This is typically an issue with the NAND, the storage chip on the main logic board, specifically the BGA, the solder that attaches it to the board, loves to crack and corrode and go bad and stop connecting altogether. We're moderately we are partway through that failure here, and the way that when the heat expands and contracts the solder balls, the solder connection for this chip, it will more or less make an intermittent connection and make it work for us here and now. But I'm sure if we leave this plugged in, let's go ahead and reset it and see if we can't get it to misbehave for us with a little bit of effort. I don't actually know which camera we'll see her come up on. I don't know where she'll be coming from. I don't know which Fred Meyer or which route.
Is about to reset. Keep pressing until you hear 3 beeps.
She tends to try to avoid traffic and take alternate routes, so. Look at that, there's traffic backed up in front of my house. Get out of here, folks. Get out of here. I think that is, you know, even if we can't can't get into this one today. We've done a worthwhile amount of fixing. My arms hurt, my hands hurt. I'm getting hungry. It's dinner time. So we're definitely gonna leave here soon. But we'll mess around with this HomePod for a little bit first. See if we can't get it to brick itself for us. I'm gonna go grab my other phone because I want you guys to see how freaking fast it is to set up HomePod. How fast it should be to set up HomePod. How do I lose my stuff like this? Find my devices. Oh goodness, this is impossible. Where's that specific iPhone? Oh, it's not on my account. It's on my test account. No. Yes. Okay. Check out these cool moves. Bam. Setup. Use the camera. Listen carefully. Pick a random room. I agree. How many phones are in my Find My? I mean, there's only a couple of phones, but it's not just the couple of phones, it's the couple of AirPods and the couple of a bunch of MacBooks. It's a lot of MacBooks, a couple of iMacs, about a dozen phones, a couple of Apple Watches, and then all Akira's stuff too. Look at that, it's done. It's done. How fast is that? I was able to set up a dozen HomePods with a brand new Apple ID in the time it took my primary Apple ID to prompt for the iCloud password and then error out. And ultimately not even successfully set up the HomePod. There is something wrong with literally having too many HomePods associated with a given Apple ID. And the crazy thing is I've deleted all the HomePods from that Apple ID's home. I've deleted all of them from the Apple account in iCloud under my account, my Apple account settings. Like there should be no trace left of any HomePod or smart home accessory added to that my account, and it still refuses to set up any HomePod. First gen, second gen, mini. I'm screwed. My primary Apple ID is screwed. And believe it or not, so I made a new Apple ID just for setting up HomePods, and that worked for a while. And a few weeks ago, it stopped working. It started doing the same thing. It'll take forever to set up the HomePod before it asks for the iCloud password, and no matter what password you put in, correct or incorrect, it says it failed and it couldn't connect to the server. whatever, right? And this is weird too. It seems to be working fine now. Let's see what
Now
version.
playing Apple Music 1.
Ooh, that's funny. What version is it on? Oh, it's on 16.5. I'm gonna have to ask them and make sure that they did send it in with or that it was blinking volume buttons, that they didn't just have issues like updating it or something here. Well, and also maybe the update from 16.5 is what causes it to brick itself. It might still just be a software issue. Do I get the Apple ID locking thing when I tried setting up a new device? No, see, I don't get any of that. And I can still sign out and sign in with my Apple ID to my iPhone. Like, I can completely sign out of it and sign back into it. I can add other devices, just not HomePods. It's like they catch on to you having so many. Look at how fast that was. Look at how fast that downloaded from 16.5 to 18.5. It's almost done. It's almost ready. We might be able to update this before we have to go. It's already installing. Look at that. So, and I escalated it with Apple, and they couldn't figure it out. Their solution was for me to make a new Apple ID. Because why is a company as large as Apple going to spend the time and resources it takes to fix a specific issue where you have so many HomePods? Like, how many people are going to run into that? Me and anybody else that fixes them. Only the people that fix them and have to reset them and set them up all the time. It's at least there's an easy enough workaround. Oh, the wife is home. Folks, we must leave. I hope you all enjoyed this live stream repair, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Goodbye.